My name is Rajinder Singh Deep Singh Wala, Vice President, Kirti Kisan Union. Today, amid cold wave of December, we have already lost many precious lives, our activists. Every day, one dead body goes back to Punjab from Tikri and Singhu, but these lives have not gone waste. Because of these sacrifices and determination, our struggle stood at a very crucial juncture of history. This struggle will not go as a landmark in history, but it will also decide our future. So our future depends upon this struggle. So we want the support from every section of the Indian society and support from Indian diaspora from every corner of the globe, and many friends and many supporters of our struggle demanding from few days. We already spoken about laws in Punjabi and Hindi. They are demanding, many friends and supporters who are supporting our agitation but don't know about the laws. That's why today we will discuss the three laws, few glaring points, and those sections, those are detrimental for the peasants, not only for the peasants, for the whole peoples. So let us talk about the three laws. We will start from the law, the Farmers Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020. In brief, you can say contract farming. Section 3 of this law mentioned the agreement which will be between the company and the farmers, and terms and conditions of this agreement will be decided by the companies, and this agreement will be the detrimental for the farmers. Government, on the name of the income insurance, bringing the private players, corporates in the grain procurements. So in this law, with this law, the APMC markets will be withdrawn away, and procurement by the government agencies will not be no more. So that's why we opposing it. Modi government continuously claiming with this law all the middleman will be do away, but it is a big lie to the farmers. Section 4 of this law clearly mentions the list of various levels of new middlemen. I will read this section 4, clause 2 and clause 3 of this section. The clause 2 of the section 4 of this law grant assessors who will grade standard and practices of farming, pesticide residue, food safety, good farm practices. None of these middlemen, those will be created with this law, will not stand with the farmers. All these middlemen will be the authority of the companies, and there will be no interference by the governments. That's why they will loot as the company will wishes. Next section is section 5. In this section mentioned there will be a price of crops predetermination. It will be price determination regarding this clause is regarding the price determination. But there are many checks on the farmers and many conditions, those are against the farmers. I have already talked about the section 4, which is regarding the assayers. So these assayers can easily reduce the prices of the produce, because the prices will be determined on the certification of these assayers. And this section also silent about the MSP. This section is also silent about the Swaminathan Commission report. And government regularly claiming on the media, in the meetings, there will be no threat to the MSP. But there is no single line written in these laws regarding the MSP. So we will move to next section, section 6. This section again reiterates the rights of the sponsor. Sponsor means company. And this section restricted and delayed payment to be made. Means company can restrict and delay the payments to the farmers of their produce. That's why this section is also against the farmers. Section 7, which is also an attack on the federal structure. This section undermines all the state laws and the APMC Act. Section 7, second clause of this section allows freedom for stocking, which will lead to black marketing. So this section is also against the whole nation, not just against the farmers. Government regularly claiming in any agreement there will be no transfer of land of peasants. Government regularly preaching to the Indian peoples that farmers unions are telling lie about that farmers will lost their land. But the section 9 of this act clearly mentions, I will read word by word of this section. A farming agreement may be linked with insurance or credit instrument under any scheme of the central government or the state government or any financial service provider to ensure risk mitigation and flow of credit to farmer or sponsor or both. You can understand that it means farmer could be deprived from the land. In case contract suffer for financial loss, recovery under section 14 subclause 7, it clearly mentions loss will be recovered from the areas of land revenue. And sponsor means company can mortgage the land of the peasants. So how government can claim that there is no danger for the land of the peasants? And contract farming means corporate farming. There are so many experience in past, those reveals corporate farming finish off the small and poor peasants. And India, 86% of farmers are small and marginal farmers. So this contract farming act is detrimental for the poor and small farmers. So that's why we are demanding this act must be repealed. One more important thing in this act is talking about the force majeure. It means in any case of natural calamity, if the crops destroyed by the drought, flood or with any other natural calamity, there will be no recovery and no insurance for the farmers. And how government is claiming these laws are beneficial for the farmers? Let us move to the second law. This law, name is of this law is Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act. In short, we can say Mandi Bypass Act. Government claiming they are giving more alternatives to the farmers outside the APMC markets. But on the name of income insurance, they are allowing the corporates and MNCs entry into the grain procurement. And till now, we can analyze the experience of the Indian agricultures. Indian government every year declare a MSP on 22 crops, but they procured just 2 crops in just 2 states, Punjab and Haryana. 2 crops, paddy and wheat. Other 20 crops are procured by the private agencies, private players. Let us take one example. In Punjab this year, 5 lakh acres, there was a cultivation, there was a production under crop of maize in 5 lakh acres, and government declared MSP 1850 rupees. But there is no guarantee for government procurements. That's why the farmers of those produce maize are getting less than 800 rupees. And you can understand clearly from this fact that what will happen the other farmers when the corporate and MNC will be enter in the procurement sector completely. Let us talk about the section 3 and 4 of this law. Government brings in law that there will be a facility of interstate trade for the farmers. But in fact, 86% of this nation's peasantry is small and poor. We can imagine that if a poor peasant from Punjab could bear a cost of transportation, can he sold his produce in Gujarat, Maharashtra? In fact, on the name of farmers, this law brings for the corporates and the private players, and it will facilitate to the corporates for interstate trade. And in this section, it also mentioned farmers will get the price within 3 days after the selling of their produce. But we also experienced in Punjab and other parts of the country in a sugarcane act. If the procurement agency does not pay the price within 40 days, procurement agencies will be penalized. But in Punjab, sugarcane farmers have to wait 2 to 3 years for the payments, and there is no single instance where government had penalized any procurement agencies. So it is a clearly there is nothing for the farmers. Section 5 and 6 are very important of this section, this act. There was a British rule in India and there was a company rule, and once again Modi regime is going to establish a company rule in India, and that will be a new era of slavery. Let us discuss this section 5 and 6. Those are going to establish a company rule in India. Section 5, I will be read word by word. FPO and ACS are to be allowed to establish mandis, e-trading, transaction platforms. They will prepare and implement guidelines for fair trade practice such as mode of trading, fee technical parameters including interoperability with other platforms, logistics arrangements, quality assessment, timely payment, dissemination of guidelines in local language of the place of operation of the platform and such other matters. This is handing over all control, fee charging, quality payment, conditions, etc. to them. This is a completely hand over all these rules and regulation to the company. They will decide and they will make every rule and regulation regarding the mandis. Next section, section 6, clearly mentions no market fee, levy or cess or levy by whatever name called under any APMC Act. It means the private sector, private players will have to pay any fee, charge, levy to the state governments. In Punjab, recently, private players, if they procured any grain from the government markets, they have to pay the 8.5% taxes, in which 3% for the rural development and 3% is for the is market committee fees, and 2.5 is commission agents. So with this new law, they will have to pay no tax to the state governments. So this act, where it is against the farmer, it is also squeezing the income resources of the state governments. So this section is not against the farmers, it is also attack on the federal structure of this nation. Section 8, 9, 10, 15, all these are sections regarding the dispute settlement. If there arises any dispute between the company and the farmers, and these sections are obstructing the farmers, that he cannot move to the civil court. SDM will have all the authorities, all the powers to decide the dispute, to settle the dispute between the farmers and the company. You can imagine, in this corrupt system of this nation, if there is a dispute between a Reliance and a poor farmer, SDM will favor whom? Poor farmer or Reliance? You can understand better. So this law is obstructing the farmers. They cannot go into the court against the private players. So this law is also will encourage the corruption and bribery. Section 12 of this section, act clearly indicates that no official could be prosecuted. It means if government officials done anything against the farmers, they cannot be prosecuted. It means who will bribe them? Poor peasants could not bribe them. If the corporates, MNCs bribe to the officials, they will favor these private houses, these private players. So all these sections are against the farmers. One more important thing, we have talked earlier also. Many persons think that these laws are just against the farmers. That's not true. These laws are not against the farmers. In fact, these laws are triple murder conspiracy. It will murder peasants, laborers, and the customers. Let us take one example. How it will impact the employment in rural areas. In Punjab, there are 4,060 grain markets where more than 5 lakh rural laborers working and getting the employment. But there is a contract between Adani Agro Logistics Limited and FCI. Under this contract, Adani Agro Logistics Limited will build a high-tech silos in Punjab. The capacity of one silo will be to store 2 lakh metric ton grains. In Punjab, total production of grains is 400 lakhs metric ton. It means 200 silos can store total production of Punjab. Then there will be no market yard and all 4,060 mandis will wither away and it will snatch the employment from the rural laborers. With this act, when the APMC market gradually dissolved, gradually eliminate, then all the procurement agencies of state government and market committees also gradually dissolved, and thousands of employees, those are working in the procurement agencies and market committees, will lost their job. So these are the impacts of this law. Let us move to the third law. This is the Essential Commodity Amendment Act 2020. This law is against the whole nation. With this law, government had made legalized hoarding and black marketing. In this law, in this amendment, it is clearly mentioned government will interference in 3 situations. If there is a war, and if there is any other natural calamity, or if there is a extraordinary price rise. So what is the definition of extraordinary price rise? Extraordinary price rise means if the price of the perishable goods increased 100%, then it amounts to extraordinary price rise. If the price of non-perishable goods increased 50%, then it would amount to extraordinary price rise. Let us take one example. If the price of onions is 80 rupees per kg, if the price rise 100% and price of onion 1 kg 160 rupees, then government will consider it a extraordinary price rise. If the onion price is 159 rupees, then they will not consider it a extraordinary price rise. And in case of non-perishable goods, if the price of pulses is 100 rupees per kg, and if it rise 50%, Means if the price of pulses is 150 rupees, then government consider it a extraordinary price rise, and otherwise they will not consider it as an extraordinary price rise. So these three laws are against the whole people. So that's why everybody should oppose it and everybody should join the struggle. In the last 5 meetings, those are with the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, government asking they are ready for the amendments. Many people thinking that farmer organizations are very adamant, they have to accept the amendments, but we are not adamant. We are demanding these acts must be repealed, and our demand is on the basis of logic and Indian Constitution. These three laws are unconstitutional because there are three lists regarding the lawmaking: state list, union list and concurrent list. These three laws are regarding the related to the agriculture, and agriculture falls in the state subject, and there is no power with central government, and they cannot make any law regarding the agriculture. Government asking, they made these laws under the power of concurrent list entry number 33. Entry number 33 of concurrent list is regarding the law making of trade and commerce, and agriculture neither a trade nor a commerce. Agriculture is a service. In the A clause of this entry also mentioned government can make law regarding the foodstuffs and the edible oils. And foodstuff means is a processed food. Grain does not fall in the definition of foodstuffs. And farmers produce grain, farmers does not produce the foodstuffs. That's why central government has no authority to make any law regarding the agriculture. Secondly, this is a clearly encroachment in the state government's rights, and it is an attack on the federal structure, and central government is moving on the path of centralization of powers. That's why we are demanding that these all laws must be repealed, and MSP should be the legal right. So we hope we can convey about these laws, and we also hope you will join our struggle and support this struggle, because this struggle is not only for the farmers, this struggle is for the whole people. Thank you.